I'm Phillip Jones, current mayor of Newport News, but really excited to be hosting this here in Newport News tonight. Low key, low stress. Honestly, we just wanted to have a conversation. We really just want to have like a no agenda, just discussion on like what you see the Democratic Party could be doing better, some things that we need to sustain on, and some ways to maybe get younger people involved. I know your worries are different than my worries. All right, I'm 36, but I know, I just had a 2-month-old, but really just a free-flowing discussion.
Labor is very politically active. We do a lot for endorsed candidates, and it's a real simple endorsement process, and we and our members vote and work for politicians who support workers' rights. One thing that we've noticed, present company excluded, is sometimes in the past, we'll endorse a candidate and we don't necessarily always get the support that we were promised during the election process. Luckily, I've seen the writing on the wall change. I think labor unions and labor is at the highest public support that it's been historically, or at least since the 30s and 40s. So that's exciting. And I see the tide has changed. It seems like workers are getting more and more rights, but we still got a long way to go.
I think there's been a lot of rhetoric, especially at the national level, that the Democratic Party has been moving away from workers' rights. They've embraced, as someone who went to Harvard, they're embracing coastal elites. They're turning away from the people. The party has been moving away. I think you saw that with the Teamsters endorsement of President Trump. As our two union leaders, would you agree?
I'm not going to disagree with nothing he said. He was on it. But I just want to add to my take on it, because during the process of endorsement, actually I want to go back to the last year's election. The Democratic Party noticed the messaging type, and it was not targeted towards embracing the support. I put it in a meeting that we had, a closed session meeting. Y'all have too much baggage. You're trying to appease a lot of people and not focus on your support base. 71% of the countries, we do the surveys, approve of organized labor now. And so you're looking at almost 3/4 of Americans are embracing and then the first thing that election response was laid off workers. Working Americans losing jobs that was going to work every day for centuries, building America. And how many jobs do I have to work to get my dream home? How many jobs do I have to work to be able to get children and then put them in college? How can I do that when we're not putting the money in the pockets of people that are really working? And you're putting it in billionaires that we can go up in space and blow up the smoke that it could feed a lot of families.
I was just with a lot of friends this weekend who are in jobs that they're lucky enough to have, but not what they had studied in. And it is a lot of finding work, but not finding work in what you were passionate about to be paying college tuition for.
Sure.
And it is a lot of people who are working at coffee houses and just other different organizations that was not what they intended to go into, and a lot of friends who have decided to go back into education because they can't find anything.
Yeah. Do you feel, and this is to everyone as well, do you feel that the American dream is farther out of reach? I know that's like an easy question, but like how does it feel to you, like actually on the ground, in terms of healthcare, housing? Yeah.
Young people, it's extremely hard and difficult to get ahead financially. If you're single and doing everything yourself, I'll admit I am in that boat.
Yeah.
It's just financially impossible. You will never save enough. You will never save enough to get a house, have it down. Even with the first time home buyers credits, you still, because even then the housing market has just gone outrageous.
Yeah.
We've been providing food to our community for the past 15 years. Last week, we did 10,000 pounds of food between Newport News Public Schools and at Langley. And then also last week, I opened up my door at the office, and it was a mom with her 5-year-old son. It was actually on election day. And the little boy looked at me, he was like, I'm hungry, right? I had 2 people in my office today who said they didn't receive their SNAP benefits and they don't know if and when they will get free. And so my heart breaks because I know the it's a give and take to be able to make these decisions on a national level, but it's really like humans. Like it's real people that we interact every day with.
So number one is the housing. You know, at least here in Newport News, we're trying to build 21,000 more housing units over the next 15 years, right? So like, I'm not gonna be mayor when that's done, but I think Democrats can do a better job when it comes to a pro-housing mentality. Someone told me like your classic Democrat is like someone that's like, yes, we should build more housing, just don't build it next to me. Right. Just do it somewhere else, but like I'm with it. And like I voted for Obama. You know, it's like they put that in there. And so I think Democrats across the country are now doing YIMBY. It's like, yes in my backyard. Let's build on church land. Let's add the ADUs. Let's reduce parking minimums. So I think we're seeing that start to come. Do you see that as like, what more can we do to embrace these pro-housing policies?
Flashback. So I finished law school in 2007. For those who weren't around in 2007 or weren't old enough to track what was happening, that was super huge recession. And so thankfully I had a clerkship. So I had a guaranteed, not a great salary. It was like $54,000, but I was able to pay my bill. The entry-level salary for most public service attorneys in the Commonwealth of Virginia has not moved since I graduated law school in 2007. And so a lot of people just think, oh, we're rich, oh, we're whatever. No, I'm still single. I'm still paying my student loans. I got super fortunate back in fall 2020 to buy my condo that I have now at that 2.25% interest rate that we're going to hold on to it. But like, that was all I could afford. My condo was 105 and thank the Lord I got it. But like, I couldn't get anything else. And so I look at my baby cousins and I'm hearing y'all, and I feel like in the 18 years that I've been an attorney, nothing is different. And I have been so pro-Dem, so politically active, so all of these things, but we've been too focused on
Extra stuff.
all the other things. And I want everyone to have the rights that they should have. I want everyone to have the dignity they should have. But like the reality is, it's been a generation, if we're going to be real about it. I could have had a kid who's now going off to college by this time, and nothing has changed for me, and I don't see it changing for my friends, and I don't see it getting any better for y'all.
I feel like for a long time there's been a feeling of detachment when it comes to politics and things like that, and that it's good to actually be getting back to the idea of doing the things that actually affect every single person. And like I said, one of the big issues I plan to continue to fight for when we go up there is a repetitive motion issue. We have, a large number of people in the state. So issues that affect workers' health and things like that tend to always be pushed back against by these sort of faceless groups. It's good to see politicians who are willing to actually stand up for those.
99% of what I see is somebody has committed a crime because they lost their job, they lost their mental health services, they lost access to all these things. Their child needed X, Y, and Z. If we had solved, they're not taking their meds because they couldn't get an appointment. If we had just solved the social side of things, my docket would be, I could do it with my eyes closed.
100% agree. And to me, not to get off on a tangent, but as long as you have trillionaires
Yes.
who are taxed at such a low percentage, and
Here we are.
I think you need to get your mayor group to do it in every city. Every city, you in that circle, they need to sit down with this kind of and have it's open dialogues. I'm looking to do more and more and bring, and I'm in my closing. Don't be afraid because y'all on the tiptoe of what that issue that doesn't really align up with political values of everybody. We need to open up and say, this is the way we need it. We don't want to exclude them, but we need to direct it down this path and put a priority on what's core values for the family. And everybody had an American dream when they grew up. Are we anywhere close? It's not. And that's what we need to tell our politicians. This is what I look to grow. This is why I started this job for. This is what I went to college for. This is why I chose this career path. It needs to be feeling somebody American dream. I went to school to do these things to help my community. and we should invest in those values.
That's a strong closing. I'm not sure I can do. I'll say this. I think there's been a lot of talk about the American dream. What does it mean to be an American? What does it mean to be a good neighbor? And so my kid is 2 months old, and like I want him to grow up in a society where AI is not taking every single job, where he's able to have a pipeline into a high-paying job, able to get a house, able to raise his family, and be part of his community. So with that, I just want to say thank you so much. We really appreciate it. There's food, pizza, beer. Have at it. Thanks all.